What's up? It's 6 o'clock. I can almost say it's like 6 in the morning, but it's 6 o'clock at night. Good evening. I want to say I don't know why I'm so tired, but I woke up at 4 this morning. I've been up for a minute. No, I woke up at like 3:30. I had a photo shoot, and on shoot days I wake up early, pack my bag, and do all that stuff. But as the title says, I've been slacking. Every Saturday, I make a video like this, go out to the park and talk and stuff. But when I get back to the house, I start working on other stuff, and then I'm like, I'm gonna post on Sunday, and then Monday. I'm like, I don't want to post a Saturday video on the Wednesday, and the next thing you know, it's the next week. And yeah, but the world keeps turning. I don't think anyone's out there like cliff hanging. 'Cause I don't leave no cliff hangers, right? But so I'm not even going to talk about what I talked about. I'm just going to post it, but just know that it's in the past. But if we work backwards, the shoot today was crazy. I ain't gonna talk about that. It was a crazy shoot. Well, another thing crazy about the shoot, I put in the address where we're gonna shoot at. I put it in, just copied and pasted it, and then I started driving, and I just started a new audiobook. It's Raekwon from Wu-Tang. It wasn't on my top list, but I just finished Wyclef's audiobook. Again, it wasn't on my top list, which is weird because I actually like Wyclef. And I realized that a lot of my, he's someone that I look up to or draw from, inspired from. Like the way he sings, 911, please call 911, like that. Because he's not like a singer. He's not like a Usher, Neo. I don't know what you call that. He's singing. So he was the first one, like, he's singing, but he's not really singing. And that's kind of where I fit in. I mean, he could carry a note, talented dude, but I didn't know much about him. Like, I didn't know, I found out way after the fact, but during the whole Fugees run, I didn't know him and Lauryn Hill were together. I didn't really care. I mean, as he said in the book, as he was saying in this audiobook, all that happened during the time when media wasn't a thing. I think MySpace would have... No, I don't think... Yeah. No, before MySpace. It would have just been AOL times. For those who know AOL times, right? You got mail. But in that mail, it wouldn't have been like gossip shit. I mean, tabloid papers were always there, but now if something happens, it spreads really quickly. Anyway, so he's talking about the whole Lauryn Hill thing, and I know there's two sides to the story, and I don't think if she made an audiobook I would want to hear it, because audiobooks in general are really long, like 8 hours. You're like, so on Thursday I wore a blue shirt. I don't know, I'm complaining about I make these long ass videos, so my audiobook's gonna be like 25 hours. So I made a video but I didn't post it, and then I saw a rabbit. I think it's a long-tailed rabbit. Long-tailed? So you already know what's coming when I get around to that audiobook. You see the rabbit in the background? But it was just interesting. Like, he's talking about what I love. I mean, they talk about the history of their parents, grandparents, how they came into existence, maybe one generation. Some go like 3 generations. So I didn't know he was from Haiti. I know now that, well, I've known for a while. But when I first saw him, I thought he was Jamaican because he was always running around speaking patois. And then he did the Bob Marley cover. But then he was saying that when he was in Haiti, he heard somebody and he just practiced getting that accent down and people liked it, blah, 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 blah. So it's just cool to hear like the backstories. And then like to the songs, like that album, like it plays a special part, both albums. Blended on Reality and the score, and even the one that came back and they did that one song with at Dave Chappelle's Block Party, I think it was. I was excited, like, oh, they're getting back together. And he kind of talked about all those things. And it's crazy, like, it's just crazy all around. Like, Haiti, they had the earthquake right after Japan. And Japan was pretty cool in that, you know, they had infrastructures, and I can't confirm or deny it, but I heard that they didn't want money. Like, they were just so self-sufficient. They're like, we don't need your money. Where in the case of Haiti, according to Wyclef, there was no one out there to help him. There was nothing there. Like, his organization was the only thing there. And so that was interesting just to hear that, which got me thinking, because right now I'm all about, you know, I'm trying to get on, but I want to help people. But there is a saying, or there's a thought that you got to help yourself first before you can help other people. So if their albums didn't go, what they're saying, 15 million sold, he couldn't really do those things. So he had to do that first and then move on. But it was really cool. I learned a lot. And so anyway, it finished. There was one point, or this ongoing theme, where his dad's a preacher and he didn't like rap music. He called it bum music, because where they lived, I think Jersey, all the dealers, pimps, and all those people would play rap music, and he thought they were bums, so he didn't like it. And in the house, he wasn't allowed to play rap music. He was in a band, church band, like Jackson 5. He has brothers and sisters. I always hear him shouting them out in the music. Like, I don't know much about him, but so he couldn't really do the music thing. It was forbidden, but he did it anyway. And he like left the house to go pursue it. And as he started getting his accolades, he would come home from time to time, and they wouldn't talk about it. And that story kind of parallels my life, not in the same sense, but like you know, I'm out in Japan getting my shine on, rhyme on, and when I come home, I couldn't really talk about that with my dad because he didn't want to hear it. He's like, "Why are you out there?" It's the same kind of parallel. Maybe it's a immigrant story. You know, they worked hard to get you here to do certain things, and then their children go in the opposite direction. But there was one point where his dad, the preacher, he didn't want to take money. He's proud, blah, blah, blah. So he was a mechanic. Like he did whatever, man. He would clean toilets and shit to make money. And one day, his coworker, another mechanic, like, "You look like this guy." He's like, "Who?" "This guy." And he showed him a picture. He's like, "No, that's, I do not look like him." And he's like, "Yeah, you got the same forehead." He's like, "No, I don't. What's his name?" And he's like, "Jean. See, you have same last name." And he's like, "What's his first name?" He says, "Wyclef." Then the dad and the guy's just like, "Yeah, he's really good. He's famous. Everybody know him." That's how the reader of the book was reading it. I'm just reading how he was. And so the dad, he calls him up and he's like, "Let me ask you something. What is it that you do?" And he's like, Wyclef's like, "Dad, I make music. I make music." And then, now he kept saying, "I make music using the Bible. I make Bible stories. Like you. I take Bible stories and turn them into..." But then, just a quick recollection, we used to be number 10. Now we permanent one. In the battle, lost a finger. Knife became your arm. Pistol nozzle hit your navel. Blood comes with a woman. Clef, why clef, beat you so... I don't hear nothing about Bible verses, but whatever. You got to sell it to his dad. But, so he's just like, "Yeah, I do that." So then, after whatever time, Wyclef had a chance to perform at Carnegie Hall. And it's weird because, again, I like the Fugees. I didn't know much about what they're doing. I'm oblivious. If you ask my brother, he's oblivious. I'm oblivious. I don't see shit. Unless I see shit. Like, I'm looking at this now. Like, but if I don't stop and look at it, don't care. So then he asked his dad to come, and he's worried that his dad wouldn't come. And his dad did show up, and his dad was just sitting there, just all like, and like there were some famous people there, like I think Stevie Wonder was there, and some other people, Gladys Knight, maybe, I don't know. So then at one point, Wyclef, he's just like, hey, everybody, stop the music, stop the music. He's always saying that, stop him. And he's like, my dad is here. And he was in the balcony, and they shined a light on him. And his dad, he never smiled. He didn't care about his music. But in this moment, he had this big smile on his face. And that just hit me right here, because that's all an artist. Well, of course you want fame, accolades, escalades, lemonade, and all that good shit. But you also want your people, family. Well, basically you want whoever is not on your team to be like, what you're doing is good. So his dad was smiling, and Wyclef was really happy. So after the thing, his dad came into the dressing room, and he was just like, son, you know what success is? And he thought he was going to tell him something like following the Bible or some shit. So he's bracing himself. And then he says, success is when you could be somewhere performing for white, black, purple, pink, men, boys, and they don't look at you as a color. Now, I was interjecting, no, they don't look at you as a color in a traditional sense, but they might see green. You know, if I'm standing next to a Bentley, I'm still black. My Bentley, I think, would be gray. But people are going to see money, green. But I thought that was just, it was like an 8-hour thing. And just that little thing gave me hope. I mean, my dad already said he liked my music last 2 weeks ago. But you would know that when you listen to the other ones. I'm not going to go into that. So I had that moment. So that parallel was there. But yeah, it was, I reckon, what's going on? More or less, I recommend reading it. For the most part, anything I read, I recommend reading it. But I do know that the way I'm looking at it through the lens of how I am living my life. So if you don't have those particular things, like if you and your parents are super cool, you're like, what do you mean? My dad went to all my recitals. He did this. Last thing about Wyclef, I almost broke my ankle. Last thing about this, I want to spoil it for you. So he's dating Lauryn Hill. They're in this like entanglement type shit. He's married, and it just whatever. And it's crazy because when I think of her song, it's so silly, how come you just lost? Funny how money changed situation. Discommunicate. And it's like 1-to-1 to what, like she's talking to him, and then in his song, he's talking to her, which that's what we do as musicians. We talk to our music. And Wyclef was saying that their thing was what made the score. Like he said on Ready or Not, Here I Come. Or it's Strumming My Pain with the Finger. Well, it's Ready or Not. He said that song, Lauryn Hill was crying because it was, and it's in the take, like, and he's saying you can't fake. I mean, some people can fake feelings. Like, I'm pretty neutral when I'm rapping, but when I feel it, it sounds different. If I'm just kind of, like, if I'm just trying to get the lyrics in place, then it's just kind of, but when I'm feeling it, it sounds different. But, so yeah, it was great. I loved it. And now when I listen to I didn't listen to the whole album again, but I know most of the song, but like they have new meaning for it. So anyway, so today I had the photo shoot, so I needed a new audiobook. And the first thing that popped up was Raekwon. Well, there's a bunch of other books, but Raekwon seemed like, because RZA got a book. I want to read his book, but he don't got an audio book. Can't read a book when you're driving. So I did Raekwon because he's going to talk about the Wu-Tang eventually. Say eventually because the first 2 hours he just talked about his home life. So I never met my dad. My dad was a church. Like, he's going on about the race of his dad, as they do. And then he just spent a whole lot of time talking about how hood he lived. I mean, Wyclef did the same thing too. I don't know if I make a book, be like, well, my life was okay. Nothing really happened. I kept to myself, stretched that out for 2 hours. But he just talked about how at the age of 13 they were sniffing coke, busting guns, and then he name drops people like, yeah, I met you, God. But yeah, and I was really getting into it, but then I arrived at the spot that my navigation dropped me off at, and I'm looking around and I'm like, so I punch in the address, and lo and behold, it's on the other side, an hour and 25 minutes from where I am. I've been driving for an hour and 25 minutes. So I was kind of annoyed. I called up the model. I said, yeah, I'm late. She's like, nah, don't worry. I was actually early. I left an hour early, so technically I arrived on time. But yeah, so now I know in my routine when I'm getting ready, I got to double, triple, quadruple check, make sure there's navigation. Because I can't, it's on my phone, and I can't, when I'm on the highway, I can't like pick up the phone and read. I just got to go, and I don't want to pull over. But yeah. So yesterday, my friend invited me. Well, not yesterday. I went to a wedding. I wasn't invited yesterday, but yesterday I went to a wedding, and it was interesting. I haven't seen the groom in a good 15 years, give or take. It's been a minute, and I ain't on Facebook like that, so you know. I see his mom all the time. I always stop at his mom's house when I visit from Japan, but he's not there. And I was really happy that he found someone. I'm happy when anyone finds someone. Shit, I'll be happy when I find someone. You know, someone who's, and this came up in Wyclef's book, and pretty early on in Raekwon's book. He's like, you need someone in your life to hold you down, someone who got your back through thick and thin. And we jump back to Wyclef. Wyclef was doing all types of dumb shit, and his wife was just like, well, I don't know what she said, but she was, I do something small and insignificant, and they're like, I just can't do this anymore. Do what? I didn't do anything. I sound like my students. They love saying it. I didn't do nothing. But anyway, where am I? All over the place. So yeah, the wedding, and it was interesting because I didn't know who was going to be at this wedding, because people drift apart, as you know or don't know. I've been in the house for the past, more or less. I've been walking up this trail by myself, and it's been homebodying. So I didn't know what's happening. So I get there. I got a little lost, but at least this time my navigation was on point. So I get there, meet up with the family. It was a small wedding. It was like 20 people. And most of the people are on the other side, the bride. On our side, it was the groom, his brothers, mom, dad, myself, and then the respective girlfriends or wives they brought. And then the kids. Kids are... Like, I know they had kids, and I see them when they're little. Now they're all tall, and because it's been like 18 years, so time flies. And they all kind of say, I'm always introduced, yeah, this is the guy, Matt, he was living in Japan. And everyone's kind of, oh, Japan, you ever gonna go back? I secretly hate that question. Yeah, if I could, I would, but I can't at this moment. I don't know the future. I don't think about it. I'm leaving it at that. But no one wants to hear that question, man. Get all philosophical. Japan's not going nowhere. In my heart, And then it's like, Japan wasn't all that. It was just a place that worked for me. Who knows? Maybe Hawaii will work for me. Or Alaska. Nah, not Alaska. I don't like cold. But, So anyway, the wedding's going on, and it's been a while since I've been hanging out or seeing my friends from school, whatever. So I'm just kind of like, chilling. These shoes are killing. Wow, these shoes go. If I bust my ankles because of these stupid ass shoes, they're nice, but they ain't walking shoes. Normally I don't walk for long in these shoes. Got to take them off. I didn't expect to. I was only gonna go walk to the freaking CVS. Here I am. But so yeah, I'm just there, and my one friend, he's just like, "Why are you so quiet?" It's like, "Cause I'm consistent. They've always been quiet." Like, yeah. Now, mind you, one of the reasons that I'm quiet is because usually at events, the champagne or wine or whatever's flowing, everyone's drinking it, and I don't drink. So it's like I'm not loosening up. I'm just, and I like to watch what's going on. I saw this interesting bird. You know how I like my birds. It was a beautiful venue, like a golf resort. So then the wedding happens, and we're just sitting around for like an hour or two. I think it was an hour, just sitting around outside. And it started getting a little cold. And then we went inside to eat. And we're sitting at the tables. And then the toast happens, and we eat. And they gave grown-up food and kids food. Kids had, chicken nuggets, fingers, and French fries. So when I walked up, I'm like, where's the French fries and chicken nuggets? We had adult food, some chicken parm and roast something, which I didn't get seconds. I'll tell you right there. But and then at the end, it's like the husband, my friend, the bride, newlywed, he said, "So you gonna freestyle, Matt? Can you do it? Give you 30 seconds? Give you 30 minutes to make something up?" People don't. Again, they don't follow me. I don't follow them. But I don't need 30 seconds. I could literally do it right now. The question is, do I want to? Because it's like, my friends, we grew up listening to Wu-Tang. Like, I heard about Raekwon from them because I didn't buy his record. I didn't have a CD player. And my dad was kind of like Wyclef's dad. He didn't want all that hippity, hoppity, hip-hop, hippity. So I learned about Wu-Tang from them and my brother when I was in the car, but it'd be in his car. So when Triumph came out, we were driving in his mom's van, and it was the first time that Wu-Tang was on the radio, or Triumph, or they just hit like number one or something. I forget the things, but it was on the radio, like B104. That's a local channel or something. And it comes on, and we stopped the car, and we just sat there. Dun, 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 dun. Bomb atomically, Socrates. Now, we didn't know the lyrics at that point, but we were just vibing out to it. So, we were all hip-hop heads. So at this wedding, my man's singing all these country songs. And I will always love you. Now, I ain't got nothing with music in general. I like all music, country songs included. They always get a bad rap. So I didn't know what I'm supposed to do. Am I supposed to rappity rap? Because, there wasn't a lot of his friends on his side, and the groom, the bride side, was. So I was like, should I do something funny? Should I Old Country Road? Like, I'm thinking of the perfect song. I was thinking maybe I'd do 8 Mile, because everybody loves 8 Mile. Everybody from this party, throw your hands up and follow me. But I didn't want to ride off of that. This guy ain't a gangster. So I'm thinking, and everybody's like, so you're going to rap, Matt? You're going to rap? Come on, rap. As people always do. I got to be coaxed to rap. I rap when I rap. I mean, from what I heard, I wasn't there, but I heard in the audiobook. But, people make up their own story. They rewrite stories. But Jay-Z said he was in the office with Dame Dash before he got the record deals and all that. And they go to the record company, and they're just like, Jay-Z's a really great rapper. And they must have played the demo or something. So the guy behind the desk, the guy with the power to sign, he said, then rap then. And Jay-Z's like, no. And he walks out. And Dame Dash is like, this motherfucker. I feel like that's me. Why am I going to jump up on tables? I'm jumping around. So Wyclef, he said when they auditioned, they did some Bobby Shmurda looking shit. They jumped up on the tables and he was doing whatever he was doing until his pants fell down around his ankle and he kept doing it. I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I would do that. You know, I'm just that way. But I kind of made peace with it because it's his freaking wedding. So, and I didn't bring no gift. I was just saying the gift is that I am here. That's your gift. But me rapping, him asking, that would be a nice gift. Something to remember that moment. Like, oh, this happened. And Matthew rapped. So I go up to the DJ and I'm like, do you have any instrumentals? And he's like, yeah, I could turn anything into an instrumental. And then it hit me, because you can do that. I got the same DJ equipment. Or the DJ equipment that I have has the instrumental maker, which I use. And I got software too. And he's just like, yeah, I could do this. And he's like, look. And he makes an instrumental. And I'm just like, of course you can. But he don't know me, and the music's blaring. I'm standing by the speaker, and I talk at this level. So I'm like, can you scratch? He's like, what do you mean? What kind of scratch? It seemed like, I might have been annoying to him because, he's doing his job and I'm asking all these stupid questions. He's like, this? Yeah, that. Like, can you switch up songs? Like, what do you mean? I kind of know what he's saying. In a sense, I'm just asking random questions to a DJ. But to my credit, all I seen him do that so far that night was sit down. He wasn't DJing. He just sit there. He was sitting at his little table, and on his phone it had some little Candy Crush looking app. Like, he wasn't DJing. I was like, damn, that's what it is. So I didn't know if he could. So I finally picked a song. I went with a Player's Anthem by Outkast. Or it's not even Outkast song. It's I don't know. So it's Player's Anthem. Leave me alone. Because it's an actual song about a wedding. Love the instrumental. And Andre 3000 did his thing as always. So then, and it's getting really dark outside. And I drove like a good 45 minutes out. And I was a little worried. So I wanted to leave. So the faster I get it done, I could just bounce. So I picked the song. He's like, what's your name? Say Matthew. That's my name, government name. And then he cuts off the music, says, we have a special guest. Matthew is going to do some freestyle. You can hear in his voice, he didn't really think anything of it. He's just, ah. So the music started, like, can I stand outside? Because it was door, and I walk in. There's a video of it. I might post it, I don't know. So I walk in, and I'm just like, this goes out. It's a freestyle toast. I wish you the best. So prior to that, he said when he gave his toast, which was really hard, he said, my life's been hard. My mom was always there for me. And then I found her. I got a new life, blah, blah, blah. So I said, I hope you the best until whatever comes next. My mind was going until death do us part. But let me recontextualize that. It's really smooth how and then someone took a picture, and I always do this. Like, I'm bright like that light that flashed when I'm holding the mic. And then I said, you said before you had a very hard life, but everything's going to be better because you have a new wife. So I thought that was a nice line in there. And then the guy holding the camera, back in the day, he dubbed me M-A-T-T, Matt. Snoop. Or the Brat, they all did that. The Brat was trying to be like Snoop. So I threw a shout out to him. I said, who would be the M-A-T-T? You used to call me that back in the day. You know what I mean? And then when they did the single ladies, throw the bouquet thingy, at our table, this girl, she went under the table. I was like, what the hell are you doing? And then the groom's mom, she comes out, where is she? Where is she? Where is she? I'm like, ah. And then after she walked away, she like popped out from under the table. So in my rap, I'm like, I got up on here because your mom asked me to. I should have hide under the table, and I'm looking for her, and I'm like, just like you. And then she's like, ah, and everyone. And then I got bored. I'm not bored, but I'm like, DJ, can you switch it up? So he threw on a track, and then I ended. It's not my show. I'm just, So it ended. So then his dad comes up like, is that why you were quiet all night? Because you were thinking of rhymes? I was watching you all day and you weren't talking to anybody. It's like, to the people who know me, that's been me. I have not changed. I could do one-on-one, but I'm not sitting around muck it up. It's just never been my thing. But overall, it was nice. And then everyone was happy. And I didn't even record it because whatever. But a lot of people recorded it. And then I got a copy from my friend. And it was nice. It was nice. Because that happens when you're doing your events. You got all this other stuff going. And by the time you get done, it's like, I should have. Like, for example, we didn't take any pictures. I don't really see them so often or dressed up. So it'd been nice to take a nice picture while we were standing there. But it didn't even cross my mind until I got in the car and I was halfway down the highway. Because we old. I'm 42. I'm the youngest, or second youngest. So 43, 44. And, we're going to start dropping off like flies. Don't want to say that, but you know how it is. All right, and that's about it. And the last, I guess, my school. Do you do that? My dad does that. And then I started doing it, and then my friends started doing it. I don't know what it's called. Anyway, so at my school, we're down to the last 2 weeks. All right, my company said, so as I explained before, the company that hired me, I was supposed to do like, I was supposed to help them with their reading. That's what I was hired for. I'm a full-blown teacher. That's what I'm doing. And I'm putting in teacher hours. Like, I come in at 7:30, leave at 3:30. I only get paid from 8 to 3, right? So my company's like, can you cut back 2 hours every week? Because I don't know what the hell they're talking about. So I didn't answer. Because I'm like, what the hell? I ain't like them other teachers. I'm working. The other people you employed, I'm working. So she sent me an email saying, did you get my email? Have you understood what you should do? So I thought about it, and I will put X amount of hours that I worked for that I worked. So it's a clause. So I'm just going to tally up all the hours that I worked, and then after, I got to be quick about it, because now it's going to work out, because we got a bunch of half days coming up and we have days off. So I'll just stick all those extra hours on those days. I'm going to get my money. Go and get my money. But yeah, principal's asking me if I want to work there. Now, I can't say this to her. I mean, I told her the kids, I guess we're in a church. We're at a Catholic school, and we do mass every Wednesday. And these little knuckleheads are like laughing and giggling all up in church. And I'm giving them the stank eye. Actually, I was smiling. Oh, you think this is funny, huh? And we walk outside, and they're skipping and lollygaggling, and which, let's wait till we get in the classroom. We get into the classroom, I have them stand out in the hallway, they're pushing each other, kicking each other, not like physically, they're just having a good old time, having a gay old time. So the strongest punishment for these sixth graders is not having snack time. It's like 15 minutes where they can eat their snack and enjoy themselves. So I write on the board in big letters, no snack. They come in there, we ain't get no snack. I lean over, I said, go tell your mom you didn't get snacks because you were playing around in church. Go ahead, I don't care. Because in 7th grade, they don't get snacks, so And in addition to that, the Spanish teacher, when she came out in the hallway, she seen them pushing each other, and she came out there and she gave them she has a thick accent, so I can't even do her accent, but she's just in a thick accent. They have her, so they know her and whatever. But she's just like, this is not how you act. You do not respect us. Da, 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 da. So I said to them, I'm going to go talk to the principal and see if I can give the whole class a detention. And they're like, you can't do that. You can't. Oh, yes, I can. As soon as you guys go off to your little, because they had Spanish neck, I guess. I'm going to walk over there. I'm going to see if I can get, like, what did I do? But before all that, I asked them, I said, please raise your hand if you're talking in church. One person raised their hand. And then they start, well, I asked somebody for the page number for the book. And I'm watching the whole time. They're like giggling and laughing and carrying on. At one point, the boys are like turned this way, hunched over. I said, was anybody skipping in the line? Nobody raises their hand. I'm like, everybody was doing something. So then I go over there and I walk over to the principal. She's like, hey, Mr. Bailey. And I'm like, is it possible to give everyone a detention? I think it is. Now, some students who never got detentions in their lives, because they're good kids, they're going to get lumped in this, which I feel bad. But eventually, she's on some, isn't there other things you can do? And I'm always like, I'm doing it, like, I got one little bad kid, and, he's an instigator, but his actions get like 6 boys, he just draws them in, leader of them. But, yeah. But I always end with, I like the kids get it, and I'm consistent, and my punishments are just. I'm not just, like, I feel something, like, if I'm, like, how can I say this? The punishment must be equal to the crime. It can't be cruel and unjust, So. But I'm considering working there. I don't know why not. I do like it. And I was telling the principal that last week I went to a concert for the kids. And when I walked through the door and they saw Mr. Bailey, they're just like all smiling from ear to ear. Some of their parents weren't even there, like it's me. And they're just all excited. And then at the end, I'm talking to them and they're just like, didn't think you're going to come. Oh, you came. Like, they're happy. So then they go back to their respective teachers, and then she's like, yeah, the kids said you came. And then the kids asked me, why didn't you come? And she's like, I have a life. So then another teacher said, how far is your drive? I was like, it's 30 minutes. Like, was it worth it? And I said, their smiles was worth it. And they're like, ah! But I'm not bullshitting. Like, I went there with that purpose. Oh, we got a band thing over here too? But I don't know these kids. But I love music. What should I do? Go home? I want to go out there, but it's hot. My walk is getting longer and longer. And I didn't bring my headphones. And my rain, that's the biggest thing. But the band. But we're going to keep walking. But yeah, man. Yeah. So, that's about it. That's everything. Everything. I'm going to post this up right now. I think. I might as well. So this is part 3. And then we're just going to post the other ones when I get back to my house. And, yeah. I almost did that thing where I tripped. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you guys are doing good. Peace.